Hello, singing friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's Mickey here, your friendly neighborhood singing coach. Tomorrow is my 40th birthday. So tonight is my last night of my 30s and I'm spending it with you guys. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. Usually I do not film this late since my kids are usually asleep, but they are not asleep. So you may hear them running around upstairs and hopefully not trying to kill each other. We just got back from vacation and our schedule is totally messed up. And as you can see, my studio is kind of in a shambles. It's full of toys and curriculum since we're homeschooling this year, starting next week, and painted lady butterflies that just hatched out of their chrysalids. Do you say hatched? I don't know. So it's a little bit of a whirlwind here, but I wanted to not miss a week with you guys. So I'm spending my last few hours as a 39-year-old woman with you guys. And I'm gonna be reacting to an Angelina Jordan video. You guys have been asking me to react to her for a while, and I had heard her version of Fly Me to the Moon when she was a little girl. And of course, even then she had a voice that was well beyond her chronological age, but I have not heard anything else from her since then. So I'm excited to watch this, and she's now a full-grown human. And this is a performance with Simonova and Tyler Butler Figueroa. She's performing the Lewis Capaldi song that I love, Someone You Loved, on the grand finale of America's Got Talent. So let's jump right in and listen to this together.
I'm going under, and this time I feel there's no one to save me. This thought of nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. Now I need somebody to hear, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and then you pulled away. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love.
blows me away when you see these kids and they're just so super talented. I think that's so exciting to see someone at the beginning of their career, you know? And that little boy, my God, that violinist, he's incredible too. What a wonderful combination. So the thing that really impresses me about Angelina Jordan is her voice is so unique, and it's almost, it's so distinctive that if you heard her, you would know immediately that it's her. You know, like it's this really interesting, I'm sorry, there's these little fungus gnats flying around because my plants are infested and they're driving me crazy. And so I keep on like seeing them flying around. So if you see me going like this, I'm not crazy. I'm just trying to get the little bugs out of my face. I really think that she has an interesting combination of elements in her voice. And let's kind of go back to the beginning and break it down a little bit so I can show you what I'm talking about, okay?
I'm going under him this time. I feel there's no one to save me.
So even there, I love the way that she starts that so breathy and gentle, but she has a very, I would say like a new generation style of singing where she's using a lot of vibrato. So immediately there's like no straight tone in her singing, right? There's always this like kind of really tremulous quality to her voice. And then she's also keeping her mouth very closed. So if you watch her performing, I love to just watch the physiology of singers because you can tell so much about their technique just by looking at how wide they open their mouths and whether there's a lot of tension in their neck, and all these different things give you a lot of clues as to what they're doing to produce their sound. And she's keeping her mouth really closed, and her sound is really back placed. Her voice box is very low, so she's utilizing that really expansive resonant space in her throat, and yet her sound is also kind of tipped forward, and she's altering the pronunciation of her words a little bit in a way that's much more common to younger singers than singers of my age. So as a 40-year-old lady, I don't really pronounce my words in that way, but it's something that you hear a lot of these younger singers doing. Her voice actually really reminds me of one of my students. You may have heard her singing on some of my other videos. Her name is Zoe, and she sings in a similar way. But it's this kind of very new style of singing where there's a lot of vibrato, a lot of ornaments going on, and that pronunciation of words that's just a little bit tweaked, and it sounds so unique to this new crop of singers.
This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy.
A sound like that, you know, I always try to like imitate the sound of singers just to see how they're doing things. And that's a really hard sound to produce because she is keeping her larynx pretty open. So she has that like dopiness, da, 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 but she's also tilting it forward. This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. It's kind of like a really hard combination of things to do because she's keeping her larynx really low and she's tilting her sound forward into her nasopharynx a little bit. So I think that like combination is what makes her voice sound so unique.
Now I need somebody to hear, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and then you pulled a rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone in love.
So you can hear that she's throwing in a lot of these really, really quick ornaments, right? I was getting kinda used to being someone you loved. Very, very quick little turn and then a little trill on that note. So she's circling around that main melody note, of that turn, and then a little trill of on the end, but it's very quick. And then she also, on that first chorus, doesn't get very intense, right? It's very held back and back placed, and her mouth is very closed. So she's not using a lot of intensity or belting on that first chorus. It's really, really lovely. Such talented kids. still a little restrained, right? So there she's really belting her chest voice, right? But it's not like this super strident, I tend to close my eyes. It's more like that crying sound, right? I tend to close my eyes when it hurts sometimes. There's a little bit of that crying effect in it, which helps you keep your larynx down. And so she's really keeping that resonant space nice and open, even on that really belted climax on the bridge. Already she's pulled back. It's very quiet. So there, she really has that long sustained note, right? And she goes right into that riff that day bleeds, yeah. And then she goes up, ah, right? She really holds that for a long time, and she goes through that whole riff on that really, really nice belted sound. So she saved that intensity for just that little moment in the song, and it makes that climax so much more powerful because she had that restraint in the rest of it, and that shows a lot of maturity in her interpretation of the song. I love it. I think it's really beautiful. Very back placed, and she has that really, really nice little ornament again, and she elongates that trill on that end one rather than just doing it one time. Love. She does the turn, and then she does a double trill on the end. Really, really beautiful. Lovely, lovely interpretation, and just such a unique voice. And Tyler Butler Figueroa, amazing violinist, and I love the way he was so into it, and he's moving his body like he's a really great performer for such a young kid, you know? Just blows me away when kids are like so good at that young age. You know that that comes from inside of them. That's not something that you can push on a child, you know? When kids are that good, you know that they have that passion. Right from that young age, they just know that that's what they're meant to do, and that's what they're like put on this earth to do, and that's really moving and incredible. So I love this performance. I hope that you enjoyed my little breakdown and reaction, and I want to tell you guys that I started a Patreon. So if you become a patron, and the tiers are very reasonable, it's $5 and $10 a month, you'll get an extra video every week. So not only on Monday, but you'll get a private link to a video on Wednesday to another reaction. And if you're a $10 patron, any request that you make will be bumped to the top of my request list. So I will react to those videos first. So check it out. I'll leave the link in the description box below. I will be back with a new video for everyone on Monday. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and of course, happy singing. And happy birthday to me.